Welcome to the ultimate guide to IELTS speaking. In this video, we're going to understand the IELTS common speaking mistakes and also try to understand how to avoid them. My name is Nakul. Welcome to my channel Skills IELTS. Well, before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can check the information in the description of this video. We have left a WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. I'll be there, we will be there to help you guide in the right direction. Alright, without further delay, let's try to get right into the video. The mistake number one is to give a one-word answer. Just because it is so easy to give a one-word reply doesn't mean that you do it in the exam, because this will not let the examiner evaluate your communication effectively. For instance, if asked about their favorite hobby, instead of just saying reading is my favorite hobby, people could say I love reading, especially historical fiction, because it allows me to learn about different cultures and time periods. Let's understand how to avoid this one-word answers. Basically, you need to fill in with this so-called structure in your mind and need to abide by the structure. A structure would look something like this: a main idea, supporting idea, example. For whatever the question they ask, you will have the answer. That would be your main idea, followed by paraphrasing, meaning continuing talking about it. That's called supporting idea, and then give an instance. This is the structure that you need to incorporate. If you practice with this on an everyday basis, automatically your one-word answers will just vanish. The second mistake is to overusing the fillers like I mean. These kind of things will definitely lower your fluency and will not help you secure the band 7 and above. So how to avoid it? See, it's very simple. You gotta practice every day without using fillers, meaning you need to be conscious of it. A lot of people have this problem because they're unconsciously doing it. Consciously, they're not even trying to do this. This can be easily avoided if you fill in that particular thought to your mind. Tell your mind, I don't need to put this filler. I can just speak continuously. Practice this on an everyday basis. Record it and just observe. Be aware of this thought that yes, you're using filler for no reason. Not really required. See, once or twice it's totally fine. But if it's very repetitive, definitely your marks will go down. Solution is to just practice every day without using fillers. The next 2 minutes, I'm going to talk continuously without using any fillers. It could be a very small exercise. Run the timer, start speaking. You can speak whatever you want, but don't use any fillers. Meaning, first you try to understand what fillers you're using. I use a filler like correct. I myself have observed multiple times. In the YouTube video as well, I've used this correct, something like this. So I become conscious of it. Then only I will know, okay, these are the things that are happening out of my control without me knowing about it. Once you identify it, fixing it is a matter of time. So practice every day. Ask your friend to just observe whenever you speak with a friend, or just record it and just try to observe. This has to be done not just while practicing, even in an everyday conversation that you have with your friends, anybody else. You gotta inculcate this thought in your mind. I'm not going to use the filler. I'm not going to use the filler. I am not going to use the filler. Mistake number 3 is not using any structure and directly jump into answers. This is very much evident, especially in the cue card or even in the part 1. For example, if the question is, do you like to travel? A person without a structure would answer something like this. Yeah, I like it. I went to Japan last year. It was good. I think traveling is fun. You can see new places and meet new people. I saw a lot of temples and ate some sushi. It was interesting. I would like to go to Europe next time. Traveling is something I enjoy. It's fun, and you learn new things. Japan was amazing. This is like multiple thoughts. There is no connection. There is no story. So unless you have a structure, building that narration, conveying your thoughts would be impossible. So structure would look something like this, like I already told you. Main idea, supporting idea, example. You need to stick with it. In the main idea, you leave the trailer. In the supporting idea, you again leave it a little more. In the example is where you show the entire movie. For example, if the question is, do you like to travel? The answer, a structured answer would be something like this. Yes, I really enjoy traveling. That's introduction. It allows me to experience new cultures and meet different people. That would be the supporting idea. Now, example, you will write a little bit more. Last year, I traveled to Japan, where I visited historic temples and tried authentic sushi, which was a fantastic experience. I find traveling to be a great way to learn and have fun, and I'm looking forward to exploring Europe next. So something of this actually gives you a better score. Don't just blindly go without any structure and spontaneously speaking and making a big mess out of it. Have a structure. Every day when you practice, practice with the structure. Convey, don't just speak. Rather, you gotta convey. The mistake number 4 is thinking that if I make it very complex, I get more marks. All these are utter nonsensical. You speak in a way a person who listens to it would understand it easily. You speak in a way, whatever the situation demands, those kind of vocabulary, those kind of grammar you're gonna give. Simply making it overly complex will not in any way result in a better score. So accordingly, we have these multiple mistakes like vocabulary mistakes, grammar mistakes. Let's understand some vocabulary mistakes people often end up doing just because of this thought, that they need to use some complex vocabulary so that they get a better score. A candidate might say, I'm very affluential in sports, intending to use the word affluent just because the person has read this word recently and was compelled to use it. But this is not fitting in the context. The correct word would be proficient. It's like, I'm very proficient in sports. The another instance is the consequences of the issue were drastically exaggerated beyond recognition. Here the word drastically and exaggerated don't fit together well, because exaggerated is often used to describe something that has been made to seem larger or more significant, and drastically is definitely not usually paired with it. The ideal way to put this is the severity of the issue was significantly overstated. A typical grammatical error would be something like this, where a person would try to do some extra things just to make it more complex. An instance would be something like this. A candidate might try to construct a complex sentence like, despite of the fact that I'm like reading, but I find it hard to get time for it. This is absolutely wrong. The correct form would be despite the fact, not despite of the fact. Despite the fact that I like reading, I find it hard to get time for it. So how do we overcome all these things? The first thing is to put this thought in your mind. Be simple, don't have to make it very complex. The intention is to convey, not to impress. Always remember these two things. These two things are actually enough to make you get into that path. And trust me, the scores will automatically follow. Hope you're getting it. The 5th mistake in IELTS speaking is to speak very fast or to speak very slow. A person who ends up speaking very fast often believes that fluency means speaking fast. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is to have that natural flow, rhythm, You don't have to say No, not required. Very fast rhythm is not required. Normal, comfortable speed. Right now I'm talking to you comfortably. The speed that you are comfortable with, that speed you need to stick to so that you can express yourself freely. Going fast will definitely make you fumble, make you use more of fillers. Correct? Make your tongue twist here and there and just mess everything up. When you speak slow, slow is fine, but very slow, too slow, it's like something like this. What if I start speaking like this? This would be very, very slow. Your fluency goes down. So how do we fix it? A very simple man. Speak naturally. Let's say your mother tongue is Hindi. How you end up speaking in Hindi, with what speed, with what clarity? The same way, or you're doing it in English? Maybe no. Why? That you ought to think, see, most of the things will get into the proper place when you become conscious of it. Unconsciously, these things would be happening at the back of your mind. The moment you become conscious of it. Okay, these things are actually happening when you become aware of it. Fixing it is very easy. The problem is to become aware of it. Don't simply end up speaking very fast, very slow. Whatever the speed, the natural speed that you are comfortable with, stick to the same speed so that you shall express your opinions freely. The mistake number 6 is not using the mixture of past tense, present tense and the future tense, especially in your cue card. Remember, cue card is one of the modules which give you the freedom to express your thoughts freely, because it's going to be 2 minutes, sometimes 2.5 minutes. You can express things freely and capture the attention of the examiner. The examiner will be looking forward to understand whether you know different kinds of vocabulary, different kinds of sentences, different kinds of tenses. So make use of this opportunity. In the cue card, always have a mixture of past tense, present tense, future tense. Simply you cannot invoke. But when you talk about the background information, for every cue card, start with the background information. You know what, when I was in 8th standard, may not fit for every topic, but whenever possible, you start with the past tense. And then to explain the bulletin points, of course you can talk about the present tense. And then to explain the future. In the future, in the years to come, I would really love to do it. I would, I will, I did, I am doing. So try to use varied tenses, practice this. Recently I made this cue card video, complete end-to-end strategies with proper structure. Make use of it. I shall believe you will not have this problem of not using the mixture of tenses. Make use of the video recently that I posted. That will definitely make some changes in your speech. The mistake number 7 is simply using the synonym. Just because some guy asked you, use synonyms so that your marks will go up. Simply using synonyms like that will not take your marks up. Rather, if the synonym that you have used is not fitting with the context, your marks will go down. So let's look at this particular instance. Using the word enormous instead of the word big. In a context where big is more natural. For example, saying, I had an enormous breakfast could sound too odd and exaggerated, where I had a big breakfast would be more appropriate. Getting it right, simply don't use synonyms. I use the word big already, I cannot use the word big again. If I use it again, someone will come and shoot me. Nobody will shoot you. You will not get your low score just because you use the word big twice. Understand? It's English. Definitely variety is an emphasis, I'm not denying it. But in such cases where variety is not required, where some other word is not fitting in, where you are not confident of another word that goes with the situation, then it's okay, written the same word. Nobody will shoot you, marks will not go down. Remember this. I think that's all for today. I really hope this video was informative. If you really love the content, like, share and subscribe. And leave your valuable comments in the comment section. Fine guys, with this I'll park the video here. Really happy I made this content. Anytime you need the online assistance, you can WhatsApp us, the link in the description. We will guide you in a right direction. With this I'll park the video. This is Nakul, Nakul, Nakul signing off from Skills IELTS. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.